Welcome to the 419. I'm Kevin Mullen, alongside my co-hosts Gretchen DeBacker and Matt Killam. The 419 is brought to you in part by Witro Wealth Management. With nearly 35 years of experience in financial planning, investment planning, insurance planning, and tax planning, Tim Witro and his experienced team of advisors at Witro Wealth Management have applied their expertise toward helping you. They will customize a financial plan geared towards you, establishing attainable goals that they will help you reach. In turn, you rest assured knowing you're in experienced hands, giving you peace of mind about your financial future. Tim and his team will truly care about you and your needs. And we know they care about the community. That's why they support the 419. Learn more at WitroAdvisors.com. And now, here's the 419. I've been sharing analytics data with you guys that I'm just completely making up. Yeah, I got nothing.
Well, I wasn't reading it. So
okay.
I wasn't wasting my time.
I actually
We've already established that he doesn't read the group text.
Yeah,
so.
I don't. What is that just for us?
No.
Or like,
no.
Do you find, so how many unread texts do you have on your phone?
No, when they
right
come
now?
in, I open them. I have none. I also keep my email answered.
Okay.
Opened, I should say.
Okay.
If you're texting me with one other person on it, I will not read it.
He will assume that the other person
Will
take care of all arrangements, remind you, put it in his calendar.
Are you the same way?
No,
Are you,
I know because I do that for him.
But do you like?
So about
do
70%
you?
accuracy.
Yeah.
How many unread text messages
I'll tell
on
you
your
right
phone
now, my
right
friend.
now?
Let's all look.
I have 25, but they're mostly political texts.
And also, this phone was never turned on.
Oh. Well, that's going to affect it.
You don't have cell service on that phone.
Yes. This is entirely made of plastic.
You're saying that your employer gave you that
This is
like
not
toy Fisher Price phone
That's right.
and said, if
My
anybody
first phone.
calls,
That's right.
If anybody
Matt,
calls, you
How?
answer.
Try to not put this in your mouth.
What's your number?
It was 4.
4?
I have 13.
Wow.
But I actually this weekend pared some of those down.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is you need to sit there and get through the
I'm not
ones,
gonna
the
mention-
sales ones and all that.
See, I don't get those. I'm not going to mention anyone in this person's name because they are a friend of ours. But Lori Hauser, a different one. It's the same.
It's science.
Has 18,000
Shut up.
emails between her 2 email buckets.
Why does she?
That would create so much anxiety for me.
I mean, so I got I was up in the thousands at one point, and then I was just I literally selected all and marked red.
Yeah, sure.
Because I was like, at this
some point, it doesn't
I'm
matter.
already
That's how I
treating them
do
as,
it.
Right. No, but you want them gone because then if you're trying to search for something, then you gotta. No.
Yeah, I was
no.
all excited when text messages allowed you to mark them as unread because I was like, sweet, now I got a place to put them. But now nothing, right?
Right.
And now it's like,
I've got a place to
great.
put 'em.
Now I mark them as unread and I still don't respond to them.
Sure.
So
yeah.
the good news is, I don't have good news. I did,
Yeah.
but I found my email. I'm very excited to have this person on.
I can tell. Look how excited he looks.
I can't tell any difference.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, now I can. Yeah, it perked right up there. Yeah.
nailed it.
Yeah.
nailed it.
Okay, so this person is a former winner of The Price is Right.
Okay.
And that's it. No.
Mind blown.
No. This person sang. So we talked about our love of the performing arts.
Yes.
This person sang on a world cruise ship for 9 months.
A world cruise ship?
Correct. Yeah, it's the cruise ship.
Gretchen's
size
a
of the
flat
world.
earther, so I don't know that this is really
That
good.
was where the confusion. That's why the emphasis on the word world.
It was a down and back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it has
okay.
to be.
Yeah,
yeah.
That
Just
was
flip
our
that
option.
around.
Yeah, they played the role of Annie, their senior year of high school.
Okay.
It was Annie at St. Francis.
I am perplexed and so excited to find out
Actually
who this
met
is.
their spouse on stage performing in a show at the Rep Theater downtown.
Okay.
I think I know who it is now. Maybe.
So we say that we're going to guess, but we don't ever actually.
we
We
don't
never
ever
guess,
actually
right?
guess.
I'm going to make
Yeah.
you do it.
Oh boy.
Hang on, let me add.
Okay,
let
add
me
the
add
last
to
one. Okay.
it. This person.
Do you think I know this person?
I think so.
Okay.
This person.
What a dumb question.
I mean, between the three of us.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
I'd
We're
hope
just
that-
getting going.
Yeah, I hope we know people. Do you remember the Old Spice commercial? The "I'm on a horse."
Yes.
Isaiah Mustafa.
Yes.
Is the guy's name.
Yes.
And it's terrifying to me that I know that.
How do you know that?
Terry Crews
Uh,
is the actor.
no. Isaiah Mustafa
Oh,
is
that-
the actor. That's literally what I just said. Are you even here?
I thought that was the character's name.
No.
Okay.
No, Isaiah Mustafa.
Okay.
Is the
Played
guy
by
who
Sidney Poitier,
was, right.
right?
We'll clarify, but I think that's the name.
Yeah.
This person dated the Old Spice guy.
Yes. I need this person to come out immediately.
Inducted into the United Way of Toledo Campaign Manager Hall of Fame. I am not surprised by that at all because she is a phenomenal community champion. I've never seen her have a bad day.
Until
today.
The next hour
Her
of
day
life.
job is at Buckeye Broadband. Please welcome my good friend, Kim Finch.
Yeah!
Hey, hi, Kim. How are you? Nice to meet you.
For those of you listening, we're hugging.
Thank you.
It's a podcast, so the hugging is sort of pointless.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Had we known, we would have gotten, shorter chairs. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is not an
climb
accessible set for people.
I don't know whether to
jumped.
start with the Old Spice Man or with the musical.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, how about we start at the beginning?
So Terry Crews played Isaiah Mustafa, who played the Old Spice
I don't know if you
guy.
heard
Terry Crews?
Welcome. It's Gretchen's Damassery.
I thought he played the Old Spice Man.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
In the heat of the night, Terry Crews played. No, I'm just kidding.
But where did you meet him? Where were you?
we're not
what
starting with
happened?
that.
Why not? It's the best part of the story. No offense.
it is exciting. That was part of my fun facts.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
kind of exciting.
Yeah.
I had to put really cool things in because
is
you
cool.
guys had the mayor last time.
Yeah,
And
he doesn't
Ron
even know Terry
Sewell,
Crews.
Right? So,
So
natural
what
progression.
a waste of our
He
night.
doesn't even wear Old Spice.
Yeah, well-
Right. We don't know.
Drinks it.
Yeah, I had to do cool stuff.
It's delicious. A lot of people don't know that. It comes in horse flavor. That's why.
I'm on a
and
horse.
boat.
That's what-
And a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Got
Yeah.
it.
So let's take it from the top, Kevin.
Yeah. No. I mean that's fine. We can start where Gretchen.
Yeah,
I
let's
knew
do
this
whatever
was gonna
Gretchen
happen.
wants to
Sure,
Right.
I did too.
We don't ever listen to Gretchen, so this is one opportunity that I think
It's so
we could.
rare.
I know,
Yeah.
and I love you on this. I've
Thank
listened
you.
to all your guys's. I'm your guys' fan.
Yeah.
That,
well,
that person
here
that
she
listens.
is. Yes.
Well, I don't know who's going to listen to this since you are the fan.
Oh, I'll
So
listen.
let's just enjoy
Well, you
this
know it's not live,
conversation
Gretchen. You know that,
amongst
right?
ourselves.
She can
listen to my
She doesn't have to be at home listening. Gretchen also has evening plans. She doesn't dress.
I don't usually dress.
Yeah, like she's headed to the Apollo.
You look
But I am, in fact, going to the Apollo after this. No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
All right. So the question: where did you meet
Right.
the Old Spice guy?
So-
And was he the Old Spice guy when
He
you
was.
met him?
And
He was.
And antiperspirants have always been sort of.
He always smelled
Yeah.
great. He smelled really
sure.
By contract.
smelled
Kind of a
great.
kink
yeah,
for you?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was cocktail waitressing at the Royalton in New York,
Okay.
which is a nice hotel in Midtown.
Gretchen's never heard of it. You'll have to.
And he came with his, I think like his producer or something, and they were staying there.
Did you recognize
and-
him?
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Was he on the horse?
He was not. He did not ride in.
Shirtless on a horse,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
coming into the restaurant.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
but yeah, he still looked
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah.
So,
Sure, yeah.
So then they ended up staying there for a little while.
Is Gretchen's panting coming through? It's fine. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Just every now and then reach over there and just
Is he still
close her
single?
mouth.
Is he here today? The Royalton, is that place still open?
Googling.
Well,
GPS.
I was brave, and
Yeah.
we had made eyes a couple of times, and then I just said, "Hey, I'm going out with some drinks with some friends,
Yeah.
and would you want to meet us?" And he said, "Well, I would. I'm going to meet Kathy Griffin right now." He was literally had a meeting with Kathy Griffin,
Yeah.
who's like his biggest fan, I
Yeah,
guess.
and she reeks.
And then he said, I'll meet you guys down there, and he did, and
Oh my
we hit it
God,
off.
that's
Yeah.
how about that?
It was cool. You know what? He lived in LA at the time, and I lived in New York, so it wasn't, it wasn't anything.
It was in the cards.
Yeah, it wasn't in the cards, but it was fun while it lasted. I'm married, so I'm not going to say anything.
Well,
Yeah.
we can edit anything out you want. Yeah.
So let me ask about. I mean, I think about your spouse and their previous, like their exes, and like this, like competition, right? Like, is your husband is he okay?
He's good. He's good, but he doesn't like to talk about it
Get
much.
out of town. You can imagine my surprise. My husband hasn't worn deodorant in 21 years.
Well, you know
He
what?
doesn't
he-
allow
does
Old
he-
Spice in the house.
Yeah,
you
would
know,
he
just
allow?
doesn't say much about
Sure.
it. And when Isaiah was Freeform Santa, we were always watching Freeform. It was always like the Christmas movies. And he
Freeform
was.
Santa?
Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, he was the sexy Freeform Santa.
Oh.
Where he'd like be in the commercials and he'd be like, "No, now we're gonna watch the Santa Claus."
So you ruined
I ruined
the holidays
Christmas.
for your husband.
I ruined Christmas.
Yeah. He took up Judaism about 10 years ago.
Yeah. And then he was in the It movies, the new It movies.
Interesting.
And again, I was like, "Oh, hey, it's Isaiah Mustafa," and like that was the end of this, like what we talked about.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like there's a level of detail that you know about his current career that we, just for your sake, we should stop talking about
Right.
him
Yep.
and what he's doing.
That's right.
Because you tell me, like,
He's doing
Message
great.
received.
he lives in this cul-de-sac and
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
He's
just
still
changed
pretty-
the color of his
yeah.
shutters to.
That's right. He cut down all the trees, unfortunately, adjacent to his windows.
No, you kind of follow it.
Yeah, of course you do.
But it's been some time. I don't know what he does anymore.
Well, that is definitely a brush with fame that I would.
Interesting.
So we are recording
Yes.
2 people
Yes,
today, and
yes,
now I
yes.
feel like canceling my dumbass guest because they haven't dated anyone interesting, I don't think.
You're bringing somebody else?
Well, I was going to,
Yay!
and now you've ruined it by being charming and having a good story, which is not what our show's about.
So, I've got. I mean, we can talk about all kinds of things in your career. I know we've got a love for musical theater, so we'll get to that. But I want to maybe start with like some serious stuff, and we'll get crazy again. In
What
a
are you the
little
most afraid of? No, tell me your deepest, darkest secret and speak into the microphone.
I don't know that I've ever seen you in a bad mood. And so, like, I know you have to have bad days, but, like, when I think of you, I think of somebody who just loves life, loves their job.
Yeah,
like,
I
where
do.
did that come from?
I don't know. I've always been that little kid that was always excited and afraid of getting in trouble, so I never got in trouble. And my husband can't stand me in the morning. Like, you got to be kidding me, Kim.
Yeah.
When I come out and it's like, ooh, we're gonna drink some coffee. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, no,
Yeah.
don't even.
Did they drug test at Buckeye?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, all right.
And I've been trusted twice.
Yeah, oh,
just
I
so
bet.
you know.
Today. Twice today.
Today. That's just
And
where I
right
came
after
from.
this.
Yeah.
That is a very nice compliment to say
It is,
to
it is,
someone,
it is,
right?
Yeah.
The absolute, honestly, I that is so complimentary, and I
Would you have preferred it to
feel
come from someone other than Kevin? I mean, honestly, you
like
could
maybe-
it's yeah.
I mean, I'm not on a horse.
yeah. But, well,
I do feel happy a lot, but yeah, everybody has bad days, you know.
Sure.
I think mine are just more like, oh, I'm so annoyed. It's
Yeah.
more like just annoyed.
Sure.
Not really like.
How much of, like, finding work like that you love, or how much of being really picky about where you work and what you do has helped with that?
You know what's so funny? I really wasn't picky about where I worked because I was an actress, so I didn't know how to do anything else. So when I decided I wasn't going to do that anymore, and I retired and I moved back to Toledo, I was like, what do I do now? I have no
Right.
idea. Sure. So, you know, right away I'm like, well, I'll go into sales, you know, like, I have a sales kind of like, you know, personality, I guess. And so I got a job at Buckeye because I knew somebody that worked there. They said, Kim, we're hiring in sales. Come on over. And I said, great. You know, that'll get me an apartment and I'll get a car because you don't need a car in New York.
Right.
So I had to like start all over. And then like it just, there's something about a local company that recognizes people internally. I mean, and right away, it was like I felt welcomed and listened to, and though I'm answering calls, you know, I was answering the calls when you'd call in. I just started to naturally move into new positions with Buckeye, and then found myself in the community manager position, which is the best job.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean,
You're great
literally,
at it.
it's the best job.
It is the best job.
You get to be with
You get to
cool
give away
people
money and it's
all
not
day.
your money.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
I love it.
To good people who need it. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't want to do that?
Yeah, that's
There's
great.
not a lot of those jobs out there. So.
And as much as, you know, people want to talk about Buckeye or, you know, whatever, I have never had their customer service, the culture of that company is amazing. It's not surprising that you are doing so well there, but everybody you talk to on the phone, they'll stay on the phone with you for 45 minutes to help an idiot like me try to figure out how to reset their router, right?
Gretchen,
We're all
Gretchen
doing
just
that.
calls.
And I just called
She's
just
a
to
lonely
chat.
person. She's just like, you know,
But it's
I
true.
put my cat on the line and
She
see what
unplugs
happens.
the router just to have a
she
conversation.
doesn't own a router.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're
Doesn't
just
even know
so
what a router
nice.
is.
They're
That's
just
right.
got to
So
come.
No, tell me
delightful.
more about your router, whatever the hell that might be.
Well, you know, and they're probably your neighbors. You know,
Yeah.
these are all people
Yeah, not
that
where she
live
lives.
here. Well,
Yeah.
but they
Not a
they
lot of routers
really
in that neighborhood.
it really is a good call. Actually, I'm just going to show this off. Newsweek. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Newsweek pointed us out as like number 173 of companies that are just doing it right, being responsible, being good to their employees, being good to their customers, doing good for the community. We did not submit for that. It was like a surprise. It was like top 1,000, you know,
But you
companies.
believe that?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And that's why I'm still there. And so really, I'm not that picky, but I don't want to go anywhere else. So
to-
Buckeye, keep me employed.
How long have you been at Buckeye?
12 years.
12 years.
This is my 12th year since I moved back to Toledo. So
I
it
do
was
want to
my
reset
first
the
job
clock
back
a little
here.
bit.
The only non-theater job, I mean, and I'll refer to the cocktail waitress as sort of a theater job, right? Because
Yeah, there were a lot of non-theater jobs.
I mean, because you're doing them to get the theater job.
Right, sure.
Bingo.
Like, this was the first quote unquote real job.
Yeah, this was the first career that I had after being an actress. And I didn't go to school for this, it was, but and I know in your guys' podcast you've talked about how actors just somehow, there's a creativity, there's this innovative side to you that you can kind of make things work. You can kind of flesh it out, be creative, and figure it out. And that's, what I did. And I every day I hope I'm doing it right.
Sure.
I have huge imposter syndrome.
You're on the right show.
Yeah. What you're saying reminds me a little bit about that huge AT&T outage that just happened, and it was just on the news.
I can't imagine.
I just heard on the news this morning
Yeah.
about what AT&T did in response to all these, hundreds of thousands of people that were out. They sent everyone who had AT&T a $5 credit. For their bill.
When I think
I
of
just
companies,
can't believe that.
when I think of companies
that's-
that get it right, AT&T is number one and number two on the list.
It's crazy to think that was their response, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. But they're nationwide.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
it's not
And they
not a
don't
local.
care no matter where you live.
No, no.
Right? So
Pay your bill.
That's
Universal.
Right. That's
Yeah,
right.
just-
If you're in Hoboken or LA, they don't give a shit about you either
That
way.
$5 is different everywhere.
That's exactly right.
Doesn't really mean much in New
That's
York.
right.
We've talked about this, part of your job is certainly supporting the community, but it's also telling those stories back internally. And I think we can talk about, I think we see from our seats in the community the great work that Buckeye does. Not everybody gets a chance to see that. And so the only time they think about Buckeye is when in the middle of the show they want to watch something hiccups, right?
Sure.
It does. It's a technology company. Or the internet goes out and you've
point.
got that email that you want to send. And so I don't know anybody truly, other than maybe you, that just has nothing but glowing things to say about Buckeye, because you only think about a
There's a
utility
problem.
company
That's right.
Sure.
when it's bad.
Sure.
How hard is that for you, and how tough is that on the employees
That's a great
when
question.
It is.
the community doesn't appreciate everything you do and maybe doesn't recognize the value of local?
Yeah, I'd like to say that it doesn't affect us, but it really does.
Sure.
It's hard, and I answered the phones, so I was there, on the front line, and I remember it was difficult, because I can't pat myself on the back all day, in front of people. Buckeye does this, and we do that. We can't really do that. But
Kevin can show you how to.
I'm very good at it.
Well, that's why I hang out
In
with
terms
him.
of
Then he
self-congratulations.
pats me on
Yeah,
the back.
Absolutely. He is
Why
a
I
king.
got myself onto this podcast. I needed another platform to talk about how great I am.
That's right.
That's right.
Right, but it is difficult, and there's very little you can say to bad reviews and bad, press other than the typical PR response. But it does affect people, and I think the one thing I would say is if you do call in to a company that's local, just know these are your neighbors.
Yeah, great point.
These are your people. These are the people that you grocery shop with and
Their
you see
kids
every
sit
day.
next to your kids at school.
100%, and they really do have feelings, and it's really hard after a while. But for my side, I just feel selfish that every day I get to see the good stuff. So I actually write the newsletters to the company, and I try to share that as much as I can
Sure.
with everybody in the company. As if they read my emails, I'm hoping. But I do try to share those moments, and I'm horrible about taking pictures, but I really try to capture moments so that other people can experience the good. It is hard to take a bad call, but in the end, you work for a local company that is giving back and is trying to keep their community strong and build their community up. And
they don't have to.
they don't have to.
I think that's an important point.
No, I mean, really, if you think about just last year, how much we invested into our fiber infrastructure, just to make us better for the community. And they're not doing, big nationwide companies aren't doing that, but we know how important technology is. We know how many devices you have in your house. It's like 30 on average. So isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So
I've
we're
gotta be
keeping
above
up
that.
with it. Yeah. Oh, you definitely are.
100%. Because I've got light switches and
There we go.
Oh, right. I didn't think of
Yeah,
that.
you wouldn't believe
through
how many
Kevin's
things go back.
devices.
So in the living
Watch
room,
the downloads.
Yeah, but we know that, and it just keeps growing. So we want to grow with it.
How many devices do you think you have that you can talk about on the show?
That are related to my Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Just my phone and computer and TV.
You have a tablet
Nope.
or any smart devices?
Nope. Nothing smart.
I
mean-
Oh, you're going old school.
Yeah.
My,
I've got an abacus. And
Wait a
some,
minute, you turn on your own light switch?
Yes, I turn on my own
Oh
light
my
switch. I don't
goodness.
have any of those like,
She does
hey
turn
Siri.
it on with the tablet, though.
Oh, I have a
But it's not
Sonos.
turned on. She
uses-
just
yeah.
uses yeah, so,
That's exactly it.
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've got outlets.
Okay,
I've
we're
got
gonna do
extension cords. I've got a washer and
I don't
dryer.
want Buckeye to know when I do my laundry.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yes, because we're watching.
I know you are.
They really care.
Everybody really believes that.
No.
Yeah.
People
You
still
think
call
those
in.
are all lights, huh?
Oh, totally. They call in. They're like, "What's that red light on my box? Like, stop watching me."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "We are a
We have
skeleton
better
crew
things
over here."
to do
Yeah,
than
right.
watch you watch us.
The reason why
I'm gonna
internet
stop
went
putting that
out,
box in my pants.
the reason why internet went out in this other neighborhood is because they were
why it
busy
went out.
watching when Gretchen does her laundry. That's what they were so focused.
Yes.
Totally missed that. Yeah, over there.
It was sort of
Air quote laundry.
yeah.
Did you use the air quote on a podcast?
Yeah,
You're
I
the
don't
one
know.
that.
Yeah, I don't even know what we're doing here. Just-
All right, so let's talk musical theater as well because
Yeah.
that's a shared passion.
We don't want to know where this lady's grew up or anything like that. We're just going to go straight to
Oh, all right,
musical
fine,
theater.
fine. We'll go.
You
That's,
grew up
we'll
in
go
Toledo?
back.
I did.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
go. Let's
I
go
grew up in
back. So
Toledo.
tell us where you were born.
And what age did you reach this height?
I think fifth grade.
Yeah,
I
sure.
honestly think
Yeah,
the fifth
yep,
grade.
Yeah,
yes.
but you
Okay.
were a giant.
I wasn't. I
Oh.
was still short in the fifth
Okay.
grade. Yes.
All right. Well, that didn't take the turn I
So-
thought it might.
But look, it got her the lead in Annie. So.
That's right.
It did, and
Yes.
then it got me no roles after that. Hence why I'm a community manager now. No, so I grew up in South Toledo,
Okay.
went to OLPH, and then I went to St. Ursula. My parents moved out to the country and
Country.
to the Berkey. I went to St. Ursula. I did musical theater as a child and
Mm-hmm.
all the shows at St. Ursula and St. Francis.
Okay.
And then I went to college at Wright State University
Sure.
for musical theater. So I got my
Nice.
BFA there.
So what shows? So Annie was a St. Francis show. So what year was that?
That was my senior year, so that would have been 97.
Okay.
We're the same age.
Are we really?
Yes.
Nice.
I'm a year
You
older.
wouldn't know that because he looks a lot
I was
older.
going to say.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. I just hold my cable box up to my head for a skin treatment. So, your favorite experience in high school, was there a show that stood out or an aha moment when you were a kid? You're like, I'm going to do this for life.
No.
And then I'm going to work for
I
a
think
cable company.
I honestly think I did it because I could do it.
Sure.
And I think a lot of people do that. You know,
Absolutely.
if you're good at something, and I
I will
was.
find it.
I was decent. I
You
was
had
good.
to have been.
So
Someday,
I
Matt.
thought, well, I do this. I enjoy doing it. So I'm just going to give it a go because I
Yeah.
don't know what else.
And you can sing as well?
I do sing.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
So I'm singer and a dancer and I act. As
Okay.
Well.
So did you have to go like to audition at universities or colleges? Yeah.
Yep. Though in the beginning, I was a little hesitant, so I only auditioned a few places, and then I ended up with Wright State's creative department, which is fantastic. They're
Parents
seasoned.
2,000% behind this?
Yeah.
They're big theater folk, or what was the house? Brothers and sisters that were supportive?
Yeah, everybody was supportive. I think they were kind of my mom was like kind of living vicariously,
Mm-hmm.
and then my dad was like, "So what's your other major?" You know,
Yeah,
like
sure.
how are you gonna make a living, kind
Yeah.
of a thing.
Right.
Which after a while, when he started to see me, then he took that back, which was
Aw,
really
absolutely.
what a moment to have
Yeah.
your dad say, "Never mind,
Yeah, sure.
go shoot for the
exactly.
stars."
And I've never
Exactly.
experienced that, so thanks
Star
for
is
driving
born.
that dagger even farther into my heart.
It's possible, Matt. There are
Yeah.
there are supportive fathers out there.
That's right. I would like to be adopted by one.
It's too late for you.
That's right. Wow. What a.
So
a
were you in shows at Wright State, obviously, plays and musicals?
Yes.
Was there a standout
Yes,
one there?
Ragtime.
Okay.
Ragtime. Oh, that musical. Have you seen Ragtime?
No,
Oh my
I've
gosh.
never seen it.
Well, Toledo Opera is going to
Is
be doing it.
Yeah. Are you going to be in it?
I'm not going to be in it. I'm going to be there though.
Okay.
I'm going to be in the audience, cheering it on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
going to be good.
Because I haven't done that in some time.
Yeah.
Do you watch with a critical eye from the audience? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I don't want
That sounds
to.
fun.
Not that I'm. She sounds like a fun date.
Real community oriented. Children's theater workshop my ass.
They're the
kids
worst.
Who are these clowns? These amateurs.
Get into character,
That's why
you
you're
dumbass.
that's why
Yours.
you're not friends with Mary Brucker because you're just like she's the worst.
I want to be.
Did you have an invisible friend as a child?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
No. Well, I played a lot of Barbies. I think
Sure.
those are all kind of invisible.
Yes.
You know.
When was the first time that you realized you could sing?
Good question.
Thanks, Matt.
I don't know that I remember my childhood that far back. I feel like
'Cause of the drinking and the
just because
boozing
of all the drinking, and
That's right, all the
I
Old Spice is
I just blacked out. No, so I think I always could. I think even like my little 6-year-old has the most beautiful little voice, and he just sings and sings, and
What's
I'm
his
like,
name?
it must have been Henry.
Yeah.
And
love
yeah,
that name.
he's a doll, and man, he's got the most beautiful, pure voice.
Yeah, Henry's our guest after you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to clean
He
up
would be
everything
great.
that you flub.
It'll be great.
Yeah. Is
Tell
he a little
us
card?
the real side of Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your husband was that in the St. Francis musical with you?
No.
Okay.
So hilariously, he
We'll
didn't
decide
do
that.
any theater.
Yeah.
So he didn't do any theater. Just later in life, he decided that's how he was going to meet girls.
That is so smart.
Because he was living by himself. He was living with his brother. Then he was living by himself, just kind of a bachelor. And he paints. He's a painter. He has a company. And then just said, I'm going to go out for a show. He actually left college to be a stand-up comedian. So it was kind of in his personality.
yeah.
And then he just hated doing that. So, but he
God,
went out for a
get it.
show, and he got it at the Rep. And then I came in the second show. I just happened to be in town, and that's how
Let
we
me
met.
get this straight. Your husband got into theater later in life to meet women.
Yep. And then he did.
How about that?
And he has never done it again.
Matt's getting a pen out to take
That's
notes
right.
at
Yeah,
this
now,
point.
what is theater and where are these places located?
What was the show?
It was the musical comedy murders of 1940.
And you weren't in the audience. You guys were in the show
We
together.
were in the show, yep.
Okay. All right.
And love interests.
Yeah. So yeah,
This is really
and
cute.
it's funny because I didn't live in Toledo. I was on tour, but the theaters that we played, the Christmas Carol was coming in, so I was on hiatus during all the holidays, and I didn't have my apartment in New York. I was subletting it, so I just came home for the holidays. Like, oh, that'd be great. And my aunt was directing the show downtown. She said, "This is perfect timing.
Who's your aunt?
Come down." Her name's Carol Erford. She does some local theater. And she directed it, and I kind of helped her out, and then I played, the female lead in it, and he played my
was
love
fate.
interest. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because Gretchen's remaking the movie Cats at our house, but it's mostly sad.
It's the unitards that make it sad.
Is it the loneliness?
No, because I just called Buckeye.
I'm just kidding. Gretchen doesn't even have cats.
Gretchen. So I'm
Gotta
just
get that date.
envisioning like a themed party because Gretchen's pretty good at the
Oh my
themed
God,
parties.
totally.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing a cat themed party.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that-
I
we're all
don't like
cat-themed.
cats. I think you should know that.
You don't?
And I think our listeners should know for the record.
That's right. And it is.
Because we are recording this, right?
Yeah.
That I don't like cats. The musical or the animal. There, I said
That
it.
covers all the bases. Goodbye, PETA.
Is there a show that you
Hate.
wish you could be cast in?
Yes. I want to play Dolly Levi one day. I want to be the Hello Dolly.
That would be so
Yeah,
fun.
someday. I still look like a 10-year-old on stage, so that's not going to happen for a long time. But
I don't know if you're
someday.
pausing for us to argue with you, but
You were not- no, I'm telling you.
100%. Yeah, you look like a young.
I think you could also be Adelaide in Guys and Dolls.
Oh, sure. I've
That
never
would
done
be-
it.
That would be
Go
good.
all around. Go ahead.
Yeah, please tell me what role you think I could play,
Well,
Matt. Yeah, no, I
Phantom.
love it. Perfect.
Now, is your husband still? Has he been back to stand-up comedy? Does he do anything in that?
Is he funny at home?
He's really funny.
Okay.
He's really funny. I don't think I don't know that his writing was funny. I think that's why he didn't really like to kind
Does
of
he
plan
write like
it
that
out.
for those of you who can't see?
Yes,
He's
and
writing
that's-
in
that was the-
pantomiming the most bizarre. Are his hands broken? What?
He actually holds the
Yeah.
pen from the top,
Yeah,
apparently, and then
that,
just
that hurts his writing. You know,
Yeah.
the fact he doesn't have opposable thumbs.
I wish this were video.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Yeah, no, he planning it was not so much. He's more of an improv kind of a person. Super funny, kind of off the cuff.
Has he done any of the improv, like the Glass City Improv or anything?
Okay, I bought it for him, and he went to like 2 sessions, and then he didn't go back.
Probably because Matt was in the class.
I knew you guys did
Really
that,
hurting
didn't
their
you?
business. Yeah, one of
Yeah,
us did.
it was nothing. He actually
Gretchen
really
went.
enjoyed it. It's
Yeah.
just, when you have a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old, he just was having a hard time kind of finding the time.
For sure.
So is Henry the 6-year-old?
Yep, I have a a little Lewis. That's 2. Yep.
So does Kevin.
Yep.
Cute.
Yeah.
I don't have a Lewis.
Oh, well, I didn't know we were talking about kids.
Did you guys just meet today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Kevin? Vin?
That's
Am I
right.
pronouncing that right?
I mean, let's be clear. I just learned how to say Gretchen's last name. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We just found
So
out about
are
the
you
cats.
are you trying to get the boys
Theater,
interested in theater stuff? Or
No.
do they? Just kind of see what happens.
Yeah, I kind of want to just see what path they take. Yeah. It was a great living. I mean, really, honestly, I wouldn't say don't do it. You know, even if you're like, meh, I don't know. It got me so many places.
Yeah.
I traveled the country. I traveled the world. I saw crazy things. I dated Isaiah Mustafa.
I mean, end of story.
Yeah.
Gretchen's
So
actually
it gave me the coolest 20s.
Sure.
Yeah.
Of course, when I hit my 30s, I was like, meh, that's just
Gretchen,
like,
when you were in your
it's life.
20s, what was the vaudeville scene like? I know it was all silent, but did you? Nothing.
Oh, man.
Okay, how about that? She's not
So
the best person
I
in show business for nothing.
That's why I'm so good at improv.
That's right.
So, the cruise situation.
Yes.
So I was just on a cruise.
Terry
I
cruise
didn't love
or
it.
ship
No, I'm
cruise?
talking about the actual sailing boat.
Okay.
It's called a ship, not a boat, as you
And
know.
they don't
So
sail.
you
But
can't
other
say
than
boat.
that, this is going great.
So what is the shows are amazing. What is it like to stay
Oh
on
my
there?
God.
Yes.
Like, and
You
do
guys.
the people like recognize you? And, like, what is that whole experience? Is it horrible? Like you're in the bowels of the ship, right?
How long is this podcast? Because I could tell
7
you the
hours.
craziest stuff that
We're
goes
ready.
on.
Okay, I want it. I want it
You know,
now.
when I said, when we were on it, I was like, why isn't there a reality show about being in the crew?
Why isn't there
No,
one?
they have that thing called like Below Deck, but that's like a yacht.
No, that
that's
doesn't
not
count.
a ship. You guys, it's crazy. So the politics are nuts. If you have 2 stripes and not 3, you can't go through this door. You have to walk all the way around and go through that door. I mean,
I would go
really.
through it just to be a dick.
You get
That's how
kicked
Kevin runs
off.
this show.
Well, this is crazy because if
You have
you're
one straight, Matt.
overseas, they can kick you off and you have to find your way home. So you could be in Yemen and they're like, "Sorry, you're
The
fired."
other thing that I learned on
Yemen
this
is
last,
delightful
it
in
is
the fall. I don't
delightful
know if you've
on
been.
this ship that we were just on is that the contract for them is like insane. I mean, they stay on that boat for like 11 or 12 or 13 weeks at a time without ever.
I was 9 months and
Oh
you
my
never
God.
had a day off. So what's wild is it's almost like it trains you. It's kind of almost cult. It trains you to open doors at all times. You never walk through a door. You always open it for someone else. You know, it's things like that. So we got back after 9 months and we go to Taco Bell because there's no Taco Bell anywhere but in America. And that was like the first place we wanted to go. And my friend and I walked up to Taco Bell and there were some teenagers behind us and we literally opened the doors.
And they're like,
for these,
"What are you
I
doing?"
swear to God, their faces, they weren't even that close behind us. And they're thinking like, what? Are you guys like hosting something at
Right.
Taco Bell?
Like, welcome to the Yemen Taco Bell.
No, this is in Florida. And I said,
same
like,
thing.
yeah,
On
so
its way.
pretty much.
I mean,
one.
if a headline starts with, "We were at the Taco Bell in Florida," that's a story I want to hear.
Yeah, that's right.
It's great.
But it was like we were programmed after so long to always be on, always be
Yeah.
on.
So support this theory that I have. The people that are like working in the bars or in the kitchen don't like the performers.
Not true.
Okay.
They like
Theory
them too much.
busted.
Gretchen
Let's
likes
go
to
the other way,
stir
Gretchen.
hate.
They like them too much. And the officers and the engineers, the high up people, you can see them taking their wedding rings off as they're walking on the ship because they all have girlfriends that live on the ship. And generally, they're the performers. I will tell you. I'm gonna break some hearts if anybody's listening to this, but it's true. It's
I
really
didn't know we were gonna bring
scandalous.
this hussy on the show.
I wasn't one of them.
She had the boyfriend.
I just like to say hussy.
No, I didn't at the time.
Oh, okay.
But no,
It's so interesting. I mean, you have all these guests on these huge monstrosities, and then there's this whole like
Underworld.
subculture. It's an entire different life.
and the things that happen in the crew bar.
Yeah.
I
there's
literally,
a crew
I
bar?
could tell you,
Yeah.
there's a crew bar.
she's
and
she's
every
pretending
drink
like she
is
doesn't know.
$1. And they just put it on your tab. It's wild. It's wild. So,
So it's like Footloose on the sea.
yeah, it's
And
more
everyone is
scandalous
Willard.
than that.
Yeah.
We actually, one of our dancers had an engineer put a stripper pole in the crew bar. She
Mm-hmm.
actually had him install one just for fun because I think they were dating. It's like, what? Where are we living?
This
What the
is
hell
the-
was I doing with my
crazy.
time in the 20s?
You
Like,
guys, it is so crazy.
yeah.
Oh, and also, this is pretty crazy. Every cruise ship has a morgue. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yes.
Because like something like
That's where Gretchen spent her
1.7.
time.
You guys are both like, yes, I
That's
did
where
know
Gretchen
that.
spent her time when she was on the ship.
Because at least one person dies every cruise or something like that.
Oh, yeah. And when you're on a world cruise, it happens quite often. Code blue, bling, bling, bling. You'd always say that, code blue. And
Were
you
you
just
the
knew.
code blue person?
No, but I sound
That was your
What
role?
a delightful sound for death.
Well, we always knew.
Yeah.
Although these were people that I think almost went to sea to die. You know,
Yeah.
they would take a 3-month cruise at the end of their life. These were all much older people.
Don't get any ideas.
Wow.
Yeah.
where you could write a book about that. And
could.
the whole idea of a reality show with losers on the cruise, and then the crew and the entertainers and everything. That is the best show I've ever heard of.
I know. I literally,
show
you guys,
called-
this could go on forever.
I think it's called The Wire.
No,
Is that right? I don't watch a lot of television. I think that show is
that's
about
close,
below the
but
deck.
no,
Okay,
it's
well, you
that's
don't know for
something
sure.
different.
Yeah.
And the guests always try to sneak down. They always want to be
course.
part of it. They want to know everything.
Were you a celebrity on the ship?
Not really.
And what role did you play? You were one cruise ship. Now that wouldn't be enough for a lifetime.
One
but-
cruise. I
okay.
did one 9-month cruise. It was a world, so went around the world.
Yep.
Well, not all the way around the world, but
Gretchen's a flat
There-
earther. I
there
don't
and
know if you
back.
heard that.
there and back.
So,
there
yeah,
and back.
yeah.
Went to the world and back.
You want anything scandalous on the show? Just left to
Yes.
right. Just left to right.
Yeah, it was enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
doing the one was enough.
What was your play? What was the role you played?
It
on?
wasn't a play. In fact, we had probably 10 shows we did.
Okay.
So we were the only entertainers. So we did, a musical. That was a Neil Sedaka musical. It was like made for the ship, I'm sure. And then a Motown show and a jazz show. And then we ran bingo. And then we sang cocktail hour. And then, literally, you're always busy.
Okay, so what is the prep for that? Like, I know, like, if you're
yeah.
doing a show at the Rep, you've got rehearsals for months before the show.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like for the cruise ship? Like, do you rehearse on the ship while you're going?
No, you rehearse in Florida. So you fly down to Florida, and then I think we had about a month. It wasn't long enough. I can tell you, it wasn't long enough. And then we ended up flying to Rome because we board the ship. I can't think of what the coastal city is. So we would board the ship, and then we would put it up under the lights and run it through maybe 3 times, and then we sailed.
Oh my God.
So it was pretty terrifying, and
Yeah.
we probably weren't very good in the beginning.
Did any of your family members come onto the? No.
No, the cruises at the cheapest, this cruise line was like $12,000.
Wow.
So I said, "Hey, you guys have seen enough. You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
You
stay
did.
home."
Yeah.
I'll send you a video.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't need specific numbers. Like, was the pay decent?
It was,
Unless you
especially
can't spend it fast enough.
for an actor. You're really not spending anything. Everything's paid for. I mean, you're living there. Your medical's all there on the ship. So it was decent for an actor. It was great. You could put it away.
Yeah, right.
But of course, you'd go off of the ship and the different countries and
Sure.
spend some money. But no, it was okay.
So you had those days off when people would disembark and you guys could leave too.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
You'd always have one city you'd have to be part of the muster station, which is the safety people. You have to stay on the ship. But most cities you could go off and wander. You just had to be back on time. So I missed Monte Carlo. That was my muster city. So I stayed on as safety because,
Right.
nobody would mess with me. I'm sure I was really effective.
That's
right,
Sure.
that's right.
What's the word you're using? Muster?
Yes, it was called the muster station.
It's where everyone gathers. The safety crew and people, they have
sorry,
a
Gretchen, I thought we had a guest
I know
on.
this.
You do know this.
It's a pre-designated area where the designated people in the crew gather. It's the muster station, so that if
the
anything were
word
to
that we're
happen,
saying.
MUSTER.
Okay.
So if anything were to happen, they're all together, or they're called to that location so they can address whatever the emergency
And when
is.
you go
And
to
you're in
cruise, you
costume?
practice that. Oh, you're in life jacket. But sometimes we were in costume.
yeah.
It depended on, if there was
I
an
guess
emergency.
that's right. I guess I'll go to the women all in sequence.
It's Patty the Bell with a life jacket on. This is great.
I'm having cardiac issues.
Those were our costumes, really.
Would
that
you
was
take
sequence.
your husband and little boys on a cruise at this point, or are you done with cruises?
My husband and I went on a cruise before the boys, and it was fun to be a guest.
Sure.
It was.
Did you try to get downstairs?
No,
or
I
they
had
call it below deck, Matt.
below deck. I
It's
don't
not
know.
downstairs.
You're the one that called it downstairs, Gretchen.
We
Our nautical expert, Gretchen. Yeah. Having
What
some
else you need to
strawberries
know?
on the bird.
The last half of this episode is actually going to be entirely in Morse code, just because I'm sure Gretchen knows that as well.
So good.
It'll just be.
Absolutely.
That's hilarious.
I know you're
Yeah,
impressed.
it was fun.
These two.
It was fun. I am.
are.
Yeah.
We're going to get slightly away from theater, maybe. But I know you're involved through your work. You're involved with a lot of different organizations. Is there a cause or something that you've got a chance to be involved in that you just say, like, I'm all in, and you don't have to look at Matt's clothing to answer it?
Just to
Now
go
I
f-
Turn your
do-
head around.
Yeah. You turn your
I
head
do.
around.
I do love the metro parks, but I have to say, recently, well, it kind of changes each
Sure.
year because something
Yes.
new. You learn somebody new. You get to go. I go and I try to tour all the places. I just want to know. I have
Yeah.
to know. That's my job. But Leadership Toledo really sucked me in with that signature program. I was supposed to do it for years, and it just kept. It was canceled at COVID, and then I got pregnant, and then it was like so many reasons, and I finally did it last year, and it was like, what? This is what we've been sending people to? Like, how was I not part of this before that? So I
Tell us
was
about
like,
the program, for those people who don't know.
yes. So this leadership program, there are 54 business professionals in the Toledo area, up and coming leaders, leaders that have been in the community for years. That's what I really loved. They've really gotten more good age ranges, so you can network better than you've ever been able to network because you're with these people once a month. And basically Leadership Toledo is just, they're just teaching you Toledo, how to get involved in every part of Toledo, criminal justice, the history, the healthcare. I just can't believe how much I learned about the city that I grew up in,
Sure,
and I
absolutely.
know nothing. And every session was amazing, a full day of just awesome. You were there, you spoke.
Yes,
you
I
you
did.
came, you were part of a panel.
That's right.
Yep.
Matt remembers that. That was actually a meaningful day for him as well.
That was part of the criminal justice.
You were in that courtroom.
That's right. We're scared straight.
I remember your face.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
hard to forget.
We put you in the muster room, and you just
Yeah.
had to.
That's right.
When we talk about Leadership Toledo, a lot of the folks, I want to talk about the youth program, and we had Nicole Susdorf on,
Yeah.
who's a
Nightmare.
part of that program.
We
Yeah,
had to
she's the
delete that.
worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a great program. But I tell people, I love Leadership Toledo for the signature program.
Mm-hmm.
I love the adult. I'm all about supporting youth and education, but I love the program that's
At least I'm
bringing
really all about it.
leaders in our community together. I had a phenomenal experience.
Now, I just joined another program with them, their Spark program.
Yes.
It's awesome.
It is
What's
awesome.
that? Is that for littler kids?
So it's more
just
of a
says-
nonprofit.
She's tall enough, Gretchen.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
How d-
For all those who can't ride rides at Cedar Point, welcome to the Spark program. Are you able
for
to share
big kids
clothes?
like me.
That's right. Are you able to share clothes with American Girl dolls? Come to the Spark program.
It teaches you the needs in the community. We talk to Greater Toledo Community Foundation.
Oh, cool.
We hone in on what's important to us and how we can help with our own philanthropy, or in my case, how I can help with Buckeyes with my budget, my philanthropic budget, how to better serve the community. So it literally is like I felt like it was for me. I felt
That's
like that
amazing.
was exactly what I needed
Did
to
that
do.
just start this year?
It just started. I've been to one session.
So this is the second year of sort of the Reborn program. So it initially, so I got involved with them last year and had the privilege of speaking to the group one of the last sessions. And like every person kicks in money to be a part of the class, and that fee you pay, 100% of it gets pooled, and then the group decides where that money gets
That's cool.
invested back
Very
in the
cool.
community. So yeah, it's a really, really cool program.
So what's your plan for 2024? What's your goal? What is your family going to do?
It keeps changing. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't think it's an easy year for anybody. I don't mean necessarily for me. I think just for businesses in general,
Sure.
for nonprofits in general. My thought, I'm not forecasting this, but I feel like we're kind of rolling into somewhat of a recession, and I think my main goal right now is to figure out exactly what I have, what my budget is, and how can I stretch that and help the major, I guess the bigger impact items this year. For my family, just the same old, same old. I got little kids, so
Yeah.
every night is an adventure. You never know what it's going to be like.
It sure
little
is.
It
boys.
sure is. Two
Wow.
little boys.
Yeah.
So just to, show them some fun, get them out in
absolutely.
Toledo. We have so many cool places. So
Very cool.
You mentioned you want to be Dolly. Like, would you do, when do you think you'll do your next show?
I have an idea for a show. So there's all these leaders in town that basically boomeranged like I did, that were actually performers before. Sarah Swisher at the Chamber, Anna Toney.
Do you know Wade too? The mayor
Was a
in mu-
performer.
That's
Was in
in musicals.
You
I
were
mean,
in musicals.
right?
I think she's talking
Kevin
about
sings.
a different level
Sure,
than
sure.
Wade and I would fall at.
but I mean, really, how many performers do you know just off the bat?
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be really cool if we could all come together like a We Are the World and like do a show, like a variety
Yeah,
hour,
absolutely.
which obviously we're all going to be horrible,
Horrible.
but
it would be so fun.
wouldn't it? And
Yes.
who wouldn't come to see that? It would be hysterical.
Gretchen has the cat suits.
She's already got the
I
costumes.
can finally stage that Cats thing I've been working on. So that would be good.
So when I saw the Philadelphia Eagles, like for the second year in a row,
Yes.
do their Christmas album,
Yes.
that was the first thing ran through my head, and I'm like, this would be so much fun to do with.
I don't
like,
know this.
Toledo. Oh my
They
gosh,
recorded a
That's
song.
hilarious.
not a song, an entire
Kelsey
Christmas
brother.
album. No,
Oh.
the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line has a Christmas album, and it is
Awesome.
legit.
No, it's awesome.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't even know that these are football players that
Sure.
are recording this. I've heard some of it, but why can't we do that?
Have you
and for a
watched
cause.
the We Are the World documentary that's on?
Oh my God, my
Netflix?
husband just did.
It's
told
so
me,
good.
He told me all about it.
There's a whole backstory between Michael Jackson and Prince about why Prince didn't come because Michael Jackson was there. Who knew that
They were
had
all
this issue?
nervous.
They
They
were
were
They're
all
the
really
same
nervous.
person.
They
That's
were
what it
all
was.
starstruck.
Sure.
It's like every star in the room, and every one of them were nervous and
Well,
starstruck.
I'm always
I am
interested.
fully expecting an email within a month to set this whole
with
show
an
up.
invitation.
Yes.
Yay!
We're
Well,
totally
now I'm
gonna
sorry
do
that I
it.
let her go.
You should have cut her off.
Yeah.
We were so close.
This would be cool.
It would be
wouldn't
very cool.
And if anything, it would be so much fun
Yes.
and,
It would.
and hilarious, and we would raise money.
Totally.
For something. We just all have to decide where it's going to
That's
go.
right.
a great
That's
idea.
right.
Yeah.
Sponsored by the 419.
Oh my
Kim,
goodness.
thank you
Yeah.
so much.
It was such a pleasure to meet you.
It's over already. This was so fun.
Yeah, well, speak for yourself. So it's fine.
The listeners are like, oh, it's over.
That's right. Well, you are one listener, so you judge.
That's true,
That's
yeah.
right.
There's a countdown on the podcast for a reason. You're getting near the end. It's like, okay, I can make it.
Yeah.
There's only 6 minutes left. I
That's
got
right.
this.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. No, it's been wonderful having you
Absolutely.
in. Thank you for sharing
So my pleasure.
your story and your joy. And I love everything you're doing in the community. So
You can see why Kevin loves you.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
Thanks,
it's been
guys.
great.
This was awesome.
Now what do we do?
that's it.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's it. It was too much fun. Did you